The camp is designed to suit the needs of a variety of kids with ASD. The camp is most suited, however, to kids who are on a modified IEP. So these are kids who have a significant impairment in language, behavior, and social skills. So it works best for kids that really need a lot of continuity and structure and perhaps a little bit more support with academic, behavior, and social needs.
It's been great for consistency. So we left school, we had a break for a week, and then Jason's here for the month.
Comparing a typical camp to an ABA summer camp, what surprises me the most is how successful our kids are and how much fun they have. When we give them the structure that they need, they really blossom, experience new things, and have tons of fun.
It's structured much like an elementary school. We start off our day with centers time, so the kids can come, they have a space to play, there's lots of peer facilitated play with their support workers. Siblings this year are allowed to come and join in on that, so we've got some neurotypical kids working with our kids with ASD. We branch off and we do circle time, and then we do a group kind of activity, usually a craft. Then we have a snack time, so we call it like recess. After that we have our one-on-one time, so we usually try to make about 2 hours of one-on-one. That's when they get to do their home programs in the classrooms and they're sitting down and working on that. Then we have lunch, and then we go on an outing.
You know, I think these kids are a lot more capable than people might think that they are, and I think that everyone here has had a lot of fun today. I haven't seen a single bored child in the whole day so far, which I think is really amazing and something that not a lot of camps do.
ABA is a way of we can give him the life skills that he can be happy and fulfilled, and it's all in a framework that he enjoys, and it's always been fun for him, and especially this camp has just been really, really great.
You don't do ABA just 2 sessions here, 2 sessions there. We do ABA 24/7. So this camp incorporates it.
I think it also helps parents who maybe have other young siblings at home to be able to provide them with an opportunity to maybe spend time with some of the other siblings that sometimes don't get as much of attention from mom and dad, because the child with autism can sometimes take a lot of that.
We have another child at home, and it gives her a bit of a break without having all the staff in our home. So she gets to have a summer as well.
Home programs have a phenomenal value, and that's where many of our students learn the most of their skills. I think one thing that's really missing sometimes over the summer in an ABA home program is the ability to interact with other students. What's really great about our camp is we have up to 25 kids all at once of differing ages, levels, and abilities who are able to interact with each other, and we're able to work on generalizing many of the social skills that we work on at home.
For Jason, he's here with all his favorite people. He's got his buddy Finn, Ariel, and all his workers are here. This is where he would prefer to be.
It's pretty fun. This is my 2nd year doing the ABA camp, and it's a blast. It's so fun seeing all the different varies of children and their needs, and like getting to know all the different kind of support workers, because it's pretty fun to get a good friend group of people that do the same thing that I do and like love the same thing that I do, and it's just such a great experience. And if there was no ABA camp, I probably would be in tears. I love it.
What we really see as the main benefit of the camp is to create a broader sense of community. Sometimes kids in home programs and the BIs that work with them can be in a very isolating experience. And so one thing that we really love about the camp is it really fosters a sense of community between kids with autism and the support workers as well. We sometimes have brand new BIs who have never been in a school environment who perhaps are going into the system in September. The camp provides a mentoring experience where people who have experience are able to come alongside new people and offer all sorts of tips and strategies and get them prepared for the school experience, because it's very different from a home or even a preschool environment.
This year I had a really unique opportunity in helping to train my replacement school aide, and the ABA camp really gave us the opportunity to really train like in vivo situations, like we're going through the day-to-day activities, what to expect out of circle time, how to interact with the student and other children in the class. And that's kind of what was really awesome. It allowed a really smooth transition, because then I could show my replacement sort of some of the things that we do together, and then I could also have her do the exact same thing actually as it was happening, rather than only giving her just situations to think about.
Sometimes it's tough in a one-to-one context if we're working on social skills to be able to generalize them to other peers, other adults. And so the summer camp is a way to do that. For kids that maybe just can't be as successful in a typical Parks and Rec or YMCA day camp, the ABA part of it comes from our desire to really structure a camp in a way that's individualized and meaningful to the campers. So we have lots of very short activities. They're very customizable depending on the levels and abilities of our particular campers. And we also provide 2 hours a day for one-to-one work with the home BI or the support worker from school to be able to still work on those individualized targets. We try to be able to customize for that. Obviously, the really little kids, they have a lot more play breaks, they take a lot shorter of work times, and then we're also able to, depending on the needs of the students, the support workers can customize how much of the circle time they attend, how much of the craft they do, even sometimes how long in the community they're able to last. And so we really try to provide something that's sensitive to all the different levels and abilities of the kids in our camp. We get a lot of positive parent feedback from the camp, and we're really thankful for that. I think the camp serves the parents of kids with autism in a couple of ways. I think one of those ways is it provides a very safe and structured environment for their children, sometimes sending their child to a different kind of summer camp, or sending them maybe out in the community one-to-one with their BI might be a little bit more risky for the parent. And so we've been able to provide a really safe and structured environment. So I think parents feel a sense of relief, especially now that it's been our 5th year and our 6th camp. It was 5 or 6 years ago, and myself and Sarah White, my co-director here at the camp, we had left kind of a rough school observation in September, and one of our little guys was just having a really hard time adjusting back into school life after having the summer off. And we just talked to each other in the parking lot and said, you know, it'd be so great if we could just have year-round school. Wouldn't it be great just to have a school in the summer? For many kids, school is something that they dread and they're so happy for summer. For many of our students, school is a wonderful, structured, enjoyable place, and the loss of that over the summer can actually lead to sometimes regressions in the fall. So we kind of had this crazy idea and thought, well, what if we just start a school for kids with autism for the summer? And so we were fortunate enough to be able to partner with the Surrey School District, who also really liked the idea, and so they donated the use of White Rock Elementary in our first year. So our camp has been expanding every year. We've been thrilled to have more and more kids join. I think one of the biggest barriers to having our camp grow even bigger is the financial cost to families to provide their own one-to-one support worker. So we've been able to lower our camp fee lower and lower every year because we've been able to get grants and sponsors, but the biggest impediment is families who have to pay their BIs to come with their child for 6 hours a day. That can cost anywhere from $500 to $650 a week, depending on how much the BI is charging. And for some families, that's just financially not possible. And so we're limited in growing the size of our camp because we need to look at further sponsorship so that families can apply for bursaries to have their staff paid for, or ideally working with the ministry to provide funding for BIs to come as the support workers for the camp. Ideally, we would love to have this camp serve as a model of how ABA can be just used in the normal community and the regular school type experience. Sometimes ABA can sound like a very scary word, and ASD conjures up all sorts of different images. And one goal that I have for the camp would be to have more and more people come just to see the camp, just to see what ABA and ASD is all about.
I think the level of engagement is what's really unique about it, and just a lot of the love and the efforts that put into it. I think, you know, in this camp, kids do get outside, they get to do things that you wouldn't get to do in just a typical classroom environment.
The only even less than positive experience about all of this is the cost. Having someone amazing attend with your kid, you know, she's a professional, she is worth her weight in gold. If I could, I would give her a huge raise, but unfortunately I'm not in a position to do that. Assistance with paying a salary to these workers who are working basically school hours, for Taylor's doing it for 4 weeks, would be amazing. And it, as everyone can kind of see, it is on-the-job training and helping figure out how students work best in a group and things like that. So definitely, if we could have some help with that, it would be a lot easier. We've kind of scrimped and saved and done what we could because we knew it would be great for him. I don't think we knew how great, but it's been worth all the sacrifices. But that means later on this year, we're going to have to be making other cuts to his program so that he was able to do this because he is 6 years old and we have limited funding.
Are you going to do this next year?
Absolutely. I'm going to try to campaign for 6 weeks, I'm thinking, because that would be great. I would send him every day of summer if I could, and because he enjoys it so much. He maybe would take a week off for vacation, but I think I would send him every day because he would love it.